Whew, all right. Now, look, not that I expected this to be some walk in the park, but I also did not expect it to come down to the very final play of the game, with the game still on the line, especially after the very first two possessions, or the first possession by each team, I guess. Indiana gets the ball first. They're not able to move the ball. Ohio State stops them. Ohio State comes out and scores in two plays. Goes up 7-0, long pass to Wilson, short touchdown pass to Wilson. It was like, all right, well, maybe that 20-point spread wasn't so crazy after all. Maybe Indiana, they've gotten lucky winning some games over some weaker Big Ten teams. Did not seem to be the case, though, once this thing was settled. And then after that early possession where the Buckeyes looked like, okay, they're going to be unstoppable. Fields following up with 2 interceptions in the first quarter. The second one bobbled around by 2 or 3 guys. The Ohio State guy might have had it. An Indiana guy got it. Ohio State guy hit it. Then a defensive lineman, big number 98, getting the INT for Indiana. So that's how the first quarter ended. 7-0 Buckeyes. One, the first interception by Fields, he just took a chance, threw it downfield. Guy for Indiana made a nice play. That might have been Johnson, I believe. I think he had 2 of the interceptions. There's 3 of them. Fields threw a third one later on, but we'll get to that later. So then the Indiana scores, comes out in the second quarter, ties it up 7-7. And then Ohio State looks like maybe this is not Fields' day. For the first time as a Buckeye, Fields looking a little rattled. Got a couple of interceptions, even on the plays that aren't interceptions. The Buckeyes wide receivers just not finding themselves as wide open as they are. I mean, there were times, don't get me wrong, it was kind of the other way around today. The Indiana receivers finding themselves wide open. So once Ohio State turns to the run game, Master Teague maybe has his very best run as a Buckeye. Touchdown run, follows that up with another touchdown run. Sermon had a couple of nice runs in there. They scored 3 unanswered touchdowns, making it 28-7 at the half, and it looked like, all right, they can lean on the run game if they need to. Indiana, although they did not give up after that initial 7-0, falling down 28-7 at the half, you would think, all right, maybe that's it for the Hoosiers. They put up a nice fight for a quarter and a half there. Then the talent of Ohio State just takes over. Indiana, they come out and they trade touchdowns to start the second half. That made it 35-14. So once again, the Hoosiers find themselves down 21 points. Still, like their coach was saying, we're going to fight, we're going to claw, we're not going to give up, we're going to be in this game, all that stuff. And it turned out to be true, Penix, the quarterback, Penix as I was calling him half the game. I'm still not sure if it's Penix or Penix. I know on Fox they were saying Penix, but what's Gus Johnson do? Joe Klatt a little more. Gus Johnson, I gotta say, I shouldn't give him the business. He was mid-season form. Well, it is almost mid-season, I guess. Hell, it's late season for a couple of leagues. So anyhow, after trading touchdowns, Fields throws his 3rd interception of the day. Penix, meanwhile, just racking up the passing yards. They completed passes of 68 yards, I think 63-yarder. They had a 50-something yarder, 30-something yard touchdown pass. So again, the long pass plays just killing Ohio State. One thing that turned out to be even bigger than it seemed at the time, a pick 6 by Wade. It was 35-21. Indiana had the ball, looking like they possibly were going to score, making it 35-28. But Wade with the pick 6, his biggest play of the season, putting Ohio State on top, 42-21 to end the third quarter. But still, Indiana just would not go away. IU comes back. They score back-to-back touchdowns, making it 42-35. Guess there's about 8 minutes to go in the game at this point. Ohio State's moving the ball, but nothing looking great. They're not getting that big, giant chunk play that they need. Although Wilson and Olave, Fields, Teague, all the guys did rack up the stats by the time it was over. They had a chance to go for a field goal, but instead they go for it on 4th down. They do not convert. Potentially could have went up by 10, but instead they go for it, don't get it, leaving it at a 7-point game. They stop Indiana. The Buckeyes get the ball back. They are not able to muster a couple of first downs, which is what they needed to kill all the clock. They do cause Indiana to use all their timeouts, though. Then about 40 seconds to go, the Buckeyes punt it. Indiana picks up a first down, picks up another couple of plays, and it comes down to that final play. They had to look for a miracle, some kind of Hail Mary. It did not happen. Ohio State holds on 42-35. Indiana had a big turnover inside the 10-yard line. They had another time, I think they were maybe in the red zone, went for it on 4th down, did not convert. Buckeyes with their big 3 turnovers also had a 4th down. They did not convert, missed a field goal. So there's a lot of points in this game. Could have been a lot more. Could have been somewhere around that 52-49 kind of game. Buckeyes still would have been on top. So, I don't know. Master Teague having one of his better games. It looked nice there in the second quarter that they established the run. Backup kicker today, missing that field goal. That didn't help. Penix, I think he was nearing 500 yards passing. If he didn't go over 500 yards, he was real close. Frifogel, the guy from Indiana, had way over 200 yards receiving, touchdowns. Tough day for the Buckeye secondary. You know, that did appear to be a weakness outside of Wade. Even though Wade hasn't had his best year, the secondary did look like it might be a weakness, and some teams with quarterbacks and receivers are taking advantage. But ultimately, Ohio State moves to 4-0, stay in first place in the Big Ten. Hopefully, Indiana will stay in the top 10. I know that's not how it works. They'll bump them down 12, 13, 14. But they look to me like they're going to win some more games. They probably deserve to be in that top 10. Who knows? We'll see where they end up. Buckeyes moving right ahead. I think our boys Clemson had to postpone today. Dabo wanted to play. Dabo was ready to go. Dabo's like the hell with the 19. I'm ready to rock. Boom. Go Bucks. Give me a thumbs up. Why not? And if you're an IU fan, give yourself a pat on the back. Your coach was right. You guys didn't give up. You play hard. You got a good team. Boom. Thumbs up. We're out of here.